Since you opened this video, it means you are thinking about building an offshore setup for your business. In this video, I will tell you the basics on how to start with a simple setup. One thing to keep in mind, this is not illegal advice, so please always consult with your tax attorney, both for personal and business purposes. This is an overview from the business coaching perspective, from the practical usage. Another important thing that this will not be a fully incognito setup, right, with a trust. It will be a simple operational setup if you would want to run your business with offshore companies, all right? And whenever you implement business offshore structure, you always have to think about your personal tax residency first, because based on that information you will decide where and how to set up an offshore company. You also have to clearly understand where are your clients located and if an offshore setup will actually make sense. And the reason why I'm telling that, so imagine you are living in the UK and you want to have an offshore structure, or you're living in Italy, and if you decide to set up a company, let's say in Dubai, and still remain a tax resident in Italy and have Italian clients, then for Italian tax authorities, your Dubai company will be actually an Italian entity, which means you will have to follow all Italian regulations and taxes. And it doesn't matter that you have an offshore Dubai company. And that's also what I help my clients during the coaching to understand, okay, what's the best setup to protect your business, your funds, and of course your freedom, so that you can run the business but at the same time not putting yourself in some kind of a trouble. And now practical advice regarding your personal tax jurisdictions when you build your offshore business setup. Important that your tax residency on the personal level, aka like home country, some should have exemption for foreign sourced income, meaning 0% income tax on your income from the dividends from the companies that are located outside this tax jurisdiction. And there are several countries that has either territorial-based tax system, which means they are only taxing the income that was generated on the territory of this country, or they have some kind of a special rules regarding the dividends. And here is just the most common and let's say the easiest countries that have exceptions on the dividends from offshore companies. It's Hong Kong, it's Panama, of course, Dubai, Paraguay, and Cyprus. I would say those are the top and the easiest personal jurisdictions when you build your offshore business structures. There are also some jurisdictions like Thailand who is not enforcing the foreign income, or Philippines who officially has no tax on the foreign income for aliens, aka foreigners, but they are less convenient jurisdictions with no ability to actually get some official documents, usually in terms of their tax payments. But they are more like of a grayish area, and it's up to you if you want to follow this grayish approach. There are also Georgia, a country, not a state. There are options there to get like 1% on the foreign income, depends on the setup. So pick something that you like based on the climate, geography, and settle there. And now let's talk about offshore entity registration. And this topic should always go in a combo with your personal tax residency, right? And it depends on where your clients are located. And there are a couple factors that you need to consider when choosing one or other jurisdictions for opening your offshore company. And the first factor is, okay, where are your clients located? If your clients are located in states, you can still use a Panamanian company. It will be okayish for US clients to pay there, but it will be much more difficult to process payments from European Union clients, for example, or even it will affect the reputation if you will have a Panamanian company and will work with European partners. And also, of course, you need to understand what type of bank accounts you need. Do you need a Euro account where you get IBAN transfer? Do you need US accounts? Do you need eventually crypto accounts? And then another factor that you have to consider while choosing the offshore jurisdiction is what type of business you do, how risky it is. Is it related to some high risk niches? For example, adult content. You have to be careful with Cyprus, for example, because you will have to follow European Union regulation there. And actually, any European Union court decisions will be enforced there. So they can basically just put the handcuffs on you if needed. And then Dubai might work in some cases, but if you have an adult content related business, then it's an extremely risky option for you, since they are unfriendly to this type of business, both on the banking and the government level. But of course, if you do e-commerce and you want to expand in the Middle East market, then Dubai company will be the best choice. And now let's talk about how easy is it to set up an offshore company. In most cases, it's much more easier than setting up a local company in your home country. For example, you can register a US LLC in 10 minutes with your laptop almost from anywhere around the world. But please be careful with the US LLCs, since they are not exactly offshore companies, and I have a video about US LLC specifically, so please check it in the description down below. And then of course we have European Union with Cyprus, where if you have clients from European Union and you don't do any super high risk business, would be a great option. Opening bank accounts with IBANs is super easy for Cyprus companies, of course, but if you have more of a high risk business and you want to have a more friendly jurisdiction, I would say, then Hong Kong is a go-to, and you will still be able to open an Euro IBAN account. It's not as easy as with a Cyprus company, but still possible. And then if you work with US clients, the easiest option to receive the funds, open US bank accounts, is of course US LLC with a combo of a personal tax residency with 0% tax on the personal income. However, the more efficient setup with US LLCs would be to have a Panamanian company who actually owns a US LLC. So it's not you directly owning the US LLC, you own the Panamanian company, which protects you, right, as a layer from all the potential risks from the US courts and all the people who would try to scam you. So with a Panamanian company, you open a US LLC, and it's a still comfortable setup for your clients in the States, and it's much safer setups for you personally. And since you're watching this video, I assume it's helpful for you, so please click like, subscribe to the channel. And as you can see, there are so many options with the offshore setups, not just the company formation, but then we have a combo tax, personal residency, and then different banking solutions. And that's what I also do in my coaching. I help my clients to understand the most efficient setup from the practical perspective. Stay profitable, your coach Glenn.